Hi everyone, this is Carrie Cole with Side by Side Educational Consulting, where we work side by side with educators to improve outcomes for all kids. We've been in a really exciting video series right now on the 5 secrets to a highly engaged classroom. And we're going to focus on secret number 3, which is how to provide more productive language opportunities in your classroom. If you provide more productive language opportunities in your classroom, you're going to have more engagement. So let's talk a little more about what that means. When we think about productive language opportunities, I think a nice way to structure that thinking is thinking about vocabulary forms. So there's 4 forms of vocabulary. There's listening and reading, speaking and writing. So listening, reading, speaking and writing are the 4 forms of vocabulary. When we think about those 4 forms, we could divide them into 2 categories. And those 2 categories would be oral and print. So on the oral side of vocabulary forms would be the listening and the speaking. On the print side of those vocabulary forms would be reading and writing. But I want to challenge you to think about it in a different way. What if we instead looked at the categories from the perspective of receptive and productive vocabulary? Receptive vocabulary is going to be vocabulary that's on the listening and reading end, whereas productive vocabulary is going to be vocabulary that's on the speaking and writing end of things. Why I want you to think about it this way, it ties right in with this idea of engagement. If you're not intentional about thinking about receptive and productive vocabulary, what happens is when you plan a lesson, you're probably going to have the majority of your lesson on the receptive vocabulary end, which means kids are either going to be listening to you talk or reading. There's nothing wrong with that, but the entire lesson shouldn't be that way. Because if they are only on the receptive vocabulary end, here's what's happening. They're not having to do anything productive with their learning. They're not having to take something that they've learned and do something with it. So instead, I want you to think about planning your lessons to include lots of opportunities for productive language, which means more speaking and more writing. If they have to speak about their learning and write about their learning, they're not just receiving information, they're having to do something with the information that they've learned. In other words, they're having to do something with that content that they've just learned. And I know all of us want kids to learn that content at a deeper level. Getting them to speak about their learning and write about their learning is going to get them at that deeper level. Okay, that was the 3rd secret to a highly engaged classroom, ensuring that we're providing more productive language opportunities for kids. Tune in to our next video, and we're going to look at that 4th secret for a highly engaged classroom. It's going to tie in a little bit with this idea of productive language opportunities. We're just going to hone in on it a little bit deeper. If you liked this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up, and always remember you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.